Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Busternet. We're back here on the Torino Diaries. I was not planning on doing something so early in the preseason, but there's something about preseason I just felt like talking about. There's something about this whole preparation that I love about the game. Here we are, we are building our team up. We've sold some players. We have some offers for some players. Naturally, I'm like wondering, should I sell this guy, Moscati, for 10 million? I mean, the value could go up to 10 million. I probably can drop this off and add some more to the value. They want to buy him up. I could push it up to 11.25 or 12. Two clubs are interested, Freiburg and Mönchengladbach, both of them in Germany. What do I do? I like this player. He's been with us for a while. Look at him. When I first joined the Serie A, he was before I took over around that season, he was like doing 6.86. Once I changed the systems around, look at him. He just went from 6.86, 7.45, 7.46 in preseason. He's 7.47. He's playing well. And then you get caught up in this players that you are sentimentally attached. You start getting sentimentally attached to them. Here I have one player I'm sentimentally attached to. You guys all know who he is. He's none other than the guy who's trying to hide right now, and I can't see him. Oh, there he is. He should pop up now. So, one player, Mr. Elfro Fimbulkassen. Will he ever become the player that I was hoping he would be? His career hasn't exactly taken off over here. We paid 5.75 for him and scored 7 goals for us and 6 goals out of 13 appearances. This season could be it, he's a journeyman. Look at the number of clubs he's been to. And I want to make his time at Torino worth something. And then this is my problem. I get sentimentally attached to players. I get sentimentally attached to the club. I'm sure everybody must go through this. And if you don't, then I don't know why you're playing the game, because that's what happens to me. I get sentimentally attached to these stupid pixels on a screen that mean nothing in my life. And I was checking out something on Tifo. I mean, I love Tifo right now, Tifo. And they actually have a group for mental health. And it's kind of interesting because we all go through journeys and we all always want to look for something that gets our mind off things, or we want to find something that we can be attached to, or for some people probably even good at. I just find that this is such an escape, and then you form a sentimental attachment to pixels of all the things in the world. I was preseason, I decided, well, this season I'm going to do something different. So I've gone on this radical approach. Fitness high, no rest between matches. Guys, maximum match training. Let's get everything sorted for the first few matches. And well, in preseason, we had quite a match. We played Arsenal 3-2. Now, I didn't beat Arsenal if you can remember last season Champions League when we knocked out Arsenal. We drew home, we drew away, but we beat them on away goals. This season, we finally got the better of Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium in a friendly, and I treated it like a bloody championship match. Like it was balls to the wall and stuff like that. Uh, Not bad. I'm happy. And we've gone with a 4-3-1-2. I don't even know whether this is going to work. But then again, I have got this attachment to Mr. Fimbulkassen. So what do? I make a system which I know might not even work in the league, only because I want Fimbulkassen to score goals. But has he done anything? Has he scored any goals in preseason? Yeah, no. He hasn't scored it. He scored 1 goal, sorry. Scored 1 goal. I kind of expected him not to score any goals. Career stats. Look at his career stats. He scored 53 goals out of 62 appearances of Heerenveen. What the heck happened to him after that? I have no idea. It's so disappointing. And in terms of, this is the thing about preseason. You gotta love it or hate it. Some people, they go past preseason light speed. Me, on the other hand, I like my preseason. In fact, preseason for me means it's a lot more fun preseason than it is during the whole season. I mean, playing games, yeah, winning is good, but preseason is a lot more fun. So here we have Z Gomez. He can't see squat, so you don't do this. If you want to find out, look at his attribute changes, and then I look at his training, and I go like, okay, you'll have to change him to a striker. So in this case, I want him to be just a complete forward that hits most of the sweet spots. And then we can see how he develops over time. 16.6, 15.8. Okay. On average, he's improving. But he's young, so I'll leave him there. And I'm not going to do any preferred moves just yet for him. I'm still not even convinced how am I going to play this guy. He has bags of potential, but what do I want to do with him? His passing is 12, so he can't really be a playmaker. His decisions might be 14. His off the ball is fantastic. So I'm thinking of just making him a forward, complete forward, trade him. And then after that, when the time comes, I will probably push him to become a poacher. And, you know, but I reckon complete forward would be the best training program for him. In terms of preferred moves, because of his off the ball running, he could actually do some preferred moves that are going to be helpful. So if I look at his preferred moves, he comes deep to get the ball right now. And I don't want too many players who come deep to get the ball. So we're gonna go to his new preferred move. This will affect his training. So we're gonna tell him to do movement training, and we're gonna tell him to move into channels on a regular basis. His off the ball running is gonna help. His acceleration is gonna help. So he will move into channels. Andre Bellotti, he's scoring a ton of goals, so I'm not gonna ask him to do anything new. Paragini is a young player, is 22 as well. And again, it's important to look at his attributes first before you decide what you want him to do. He's got pace and acceleration. He gets away from players. His finishing and composure is not bad. His passing is 13. His decisions are 14. Off the ball is generally quite good. In this guy's case, because of his dribbling and his ability to hold the ball, I mean, basically his ability to run with the ball, I'm going to ask him to do attacking, and I'm going to ask him to do movement training with the ball. Oh no. I want him to do one twos. I still prefer if he started on that training program I want him to do. Okay. Because of his off the ball running, I want him to do one twos. So we've got some of the young players. I'm going to start targeting them with preferred moves. For the attacking midfielder, there's one guy here, Matthias Pereira. Same thing. He's brilliant. He's got a lot of potential. This guy is going to be a potential star. No preferred moves yet. So he also gets the benefit of preferred moves. So let's go to his training, and in this case, he's going to be a playmaker. He's attacking midfielder, right, left, and center. He can go all over the pitch. So we're going to give him move into channels. I want him to start on that. Okay, he does have off the ball, and he has pace and acceleration. So I don't see why he can't do moving into channels. So we have that guy. So I'm not training everybody because it doesn't make any sense. The rest are too old. Let's forget them for now. And then we go to the midfielders, and I'm looking at this boy, Boban Dragovic. This boy has lots of potential. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at the frown. Look at the stare. He's gonna be a mean bugger. So we're gonna tell him to do mental defending training. I want you to mark people tightly. I don't want him to allow people to get away from him. And then so he's the youngest. The rest, I'm not going to bother. And then we go to the defensive midfielders. Again, there's only Emilio Martino, who's a fullback. Then I got Marlon, he's a defender. And we'll find his PPMs. He stays back at all times, which is good. And then we'll do training. And then I will tell him not to. His technique training to develop his. Okay. So, okay. Alright, he won't dive into the tackles too. I was hoping to get him to work on his other foot. But that's also a good option. And we have other players who I'm probably going to sell off. Pontus Jensen, I'm going to sell him off. He hardly got a match last season. So he's going to go. I guess he was on loan last year in Greece. Made 6 appearances, 6.5. For Torino, he made 1 appearance, 6.9, and I said, that's it, you're not playing anymore. He has never, for me, he has never breached high numbers. So Pontus Jensen, transfer status, he's transfer listed. There's another player here who might be transfer listed as well. Antonio Barreca, he's not going to break into the side, so transfer status, he's transfer listed as well. All these players, I gotta say thank you for joining our club, getting us there. But I've got to let players go, and that is the toughest thing once you've come out of a Champions League victory. So we won the Champions League, and now I've got to let them go. That's painful. Letting go of something is not an easy thing to do. And looking at my under 18s, I don't really have a lot of good under 18s at the moment. They're okay. They're average. Some of them, I feel like, shift, command everything here and tell them all to leave because I don't think they're good enough. And then looking at my under 20 squad. Okay, under 20 squad is not that bad. We have some decent players. My under 20s are pretty okay. And then I've got my senior squad. My senior squad, well, we have to try our best. So our preseason form has been quite good. We have managed to win all our preseason matches playing the 4-3-1-2. So we have had a few preseason games, and we've had some results that aren't too cool. We lost to Juventus in the Supercopa final in preseason. I consider this in preseason because we still got friendlies. And then we lost to Chelsea in the Super Cup as well. Pretty sad because we could have had the Super Cup to our list of trophies, but that was a bit sad. But then again, yeah, these kind of things happen. In terms of tactics, I'm using a 4-3-1-2 for this season because of Fimbogassen, and I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna work. I'm just hoping it does. We've had some interesting developments though. Okay, so in terms of my squad, I received a question from somebody as to why in the world do I keep one specific player in my squad. His name is Vasil Prima. Now, ordinarily, I don't keep players with low attributes. His determination is only 6. Why do I keep him in the side? Actually, it's historical. Our friend Vasil Prima came as baggage from when I took over. And if you still remember my adventures with Michel Fornacier in season 1, I had no choice. I had to bring this guy on because he was, even his 6.79 was better than Fornacier. Fornacier was so, I kept Prima on because I don't have any other defenders except for Marlon. And I kept him in the side because occasionally he could play in other roles. But overall, in my team, 7.09 and 7.16 is generally quite low. The average ratings I have for my team is usually in the region of 7.3. So that is quite low. So we have already Mr. Prima is already transfer listed, and there's some interest from Marseille. We hope that we can negotiate something. So there are quite a few players I'm looking at offloading. The interesting things are Camel Glick as well. If Liverpool come in with a bid for it, Mr. Click, I'll sell him. And we've had some stars emerging from preseason. I'm very excited about team in preseason. I've got this boy called Boban Dragovic. He was from my youth team, and I promoted him. And if you look at his attributes, they're just average, nothing to shout about. He's about, he's pretty young, 19 years old, and he has got bags of potential. So I'm going to use him as a defensive midfielder or a midfielder. His passing, I need to improve it because if he's going to be playing part of my side, but he is definitely going to be starting a lot of games. So I'm going to focus on his development. Another player that I seem to think that has got a lot of potential is this one, another under 20 we have promoted as well, Federico Girardo. He is also showing a lot of potential. In preseason, he's already at 7.72 in average ratings, which is quite high. He's played a few games. He does seem to get off on a good run very quickly. Another guy who's going to be has already been promoted is this one, Emmanuel Martino. Now, I didn't expect Martino to start, but then the moment I could offload Marco Mascati, who I've already sold for about £12 million, and I'm not going to say no to 12 million for a person who's basically third choice on the list. So because he has been sold off, I'm looking at this one. His composure is a bit low at 5. That's a bit sad. But as a backup, why not? Let's develop him, and if I can sell him, I'll sell him too. So if they come in at 375, I'll sell him for about 5. I'm happy. Other players that I'm very excited about. In my last preseason game, I was stunned with the work, with the goals that Z Gomez and Paragini put together. I'll just show you what I mean. One of the goals that I really liked was this goal, which Z Gomez and Paragini put together from a counter attack. Now, the moment I saw this goal, I was thinking to myself, should I? Because look at the way they move. Right, they are very fast off the block. Paragini gets in, scores one goal. Z Gomez is there. Now, that alone made me just sit up and think, okay, could this be my combination for this season, or will it be the Belotti Fimbo combination? Now, I want to sell Fimbo at all costs, and I want to get a lot of money for Fimbo. It'll be interesting because we will have to see. Basetti is coming in preseason. He's I don't really expect him to be a starter in most of our games. 8.9, which is very good. So as far as the rest of the players are concerned, Belotti, Arsenal came in with a £28 million offer. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to sell him. And Fimbo is still unhappy. Of course, he wants to play at the club, and he wants to leave for first team football. But this is the guy I have to do my best to keep. All right, this bloke, I need to keep him because I'm afraid of losing him. Andrea Polisano. Now this boy, I forgot all about him. I completely ignored his development. I didn't really pay attention, and he just shot off. His core attributes have really improved. If you want to know how to check that, let's look at his marking. His marking went up. His tackling. All right. Then we've got his acceleration went up. His pace went up. So this guy just suddenly exploded. I mean, I'm like going, okay. Why haven't I been paying attention to this player? He's just gone, starting to improve. I mean, over the seasons I've kept him, he's really come along. So I want to keep him, but he's really angry with me. He's requested to be transfer listed. So I screwed up really badly. And his contract is up for renewal in June of 2019, and it's already August of 2000. If I don't make him happy by December, I think he's going to go. And I won't be able to keep him because he'll be available on a free. It'll be the first player I lose on a free in a long, long time. So I'm going to start focusing on their training a lot more closely because this is the time in the game when I actually do that. Our first home game is going to be against Sassuolo, and then we'll follow that with Lazio and Genoa before we begin our Champions League campaign. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Busternet. I know it's a pre-season show, but we'll come back with more action when the season proper starts. If you have any questions, please drop me a note at Busternet. My Twitter handle, you can find me at addicted2fm.com, which is the website that I run. And I hope to catch you guys again soon. Bye-bye.